pickup truck, nearly a complete stop, just inching over the speed bumps. Guy on the bicycle, totally avoiding the speed bumps. Don't blame him. So this white SUV that's going over right now, nearly probably 2-3 miles an hour, had just come from the south, from the other stop sign. I saw it go through that stop sign after having stopped. So it had accomplished a full rate of speed and then came to nearly a complete stop. You can see the Arizona Mechanical, maybe you can't see it in the video. The guy slowed down a little too fast and he didn't actually get over to, he didn't, I won't bother explaining it, but you could see that he should have slowed down a little sooner if he had wanted to inch over the, here's a guy accelerating from the intersection back there, comes to a complete, I don't know, less than 5 miles per hour, probably 2, 3, 4 miles per hour. And you can see now he's still cruising along back up to 30 miles an hour, and he comes to the stop sign. Here we have a school bus. I don't know if it's going to go over the speed bump. Regular rate of speed for a school bus in a residential neighborhood. $2 miles an hour. The white Honda Accord inching over at 1 mile per hour. And that person just drove by the school bus with the stop sign out. 5 points on the license, automatic. But that's not what we're doing here today. We're talking about speed bumps. Amazing the things that you see if you just leave your camera running for a few minutes. I'm gonna cross to the other side of the street, just get a slightly different vantage point. The white Infiniti crawling over the speed bump. The Transportation America van, which transports people in wheelchairs, crawling over the speed bump. The Nissan Altima, 1 or 2 miles per hour. The Volvo, maybe 4 miles per hour. The red car, beeping and inching over at nearly a stop. Maybe they're saying hi to their friends or something. This Mercedes, nope, they're turning. What's the point of the video? The point of the video is to show and highlight that these are not acting as speed humps. These traffic calming devices are really traffic stopping devices. And what we have in the middle of our neighborhood are devices that are causing traffic to come to nearly a complete stop so many steps of the way. Got some fans over here, the kids that just walked out of the bus, giving me the thumbs up for videotaping, and probably just excited to see someone involved. Pickup truck, 1 mile per hour. Volvo, 2-3 miles per hour. What's interesting about this pickup truck is there have been people on the chat that say, oh, I drive a pickup truck and I go over at 15 miles per hour, no problem. That's fine, but if you have anything in your car, it's going to get jolted, your body's going to get jolted, your suspension's going to get jolted and need to be replaced sooner rather than later. And if you just watch the car, yeah, I'm seeing it live, but some of these cars, like literally the suspension goes up and down like inches just from going over, and I don't know if all my points are clear, but certainly trying to make the point that cars, this guy's got a truck full of stuff, and now the truck's still bouncing up and down. So it's Point being, cars are having to slow down tremendously. A speed hump should calm the traffic in the sense of keeping traffic at or below the speed limit, but shouldn't mean that you have to come to nearly a complete stop. I mean, I would say, I don't know percentage-wise, but maybe 90% of the cars are under 5 miles per hour. Now, mind you, if you see the big yellow speed hump sign, and then you see an intersection, and then you see the stop sign, that's not that far. That's like probably 10 or 12 car lengths. And of course we have the stop sign there because it's a three-way intersection. But people are coming to a stop 12 car lengths before the stop sign, and then again at the stop sign. What's the alternative? The alternative is speed humps that extend over 7, 10, 15 feet, so the cars gradually rise and fall, and they don't need to come to a speed of less than 5 miles per hour. They can maintain a rate of speed of between probably 10 and 15 miles per hour, maybe 20 if someone wants to push it. But there's no reason whatsoever that a car needs to make as much of a stop at a speed hump or bump as it does at a stop sign. This guy's been going pretty slowly. I imagine he's been going pretty slow the whole way. This white van was cruising in the neighborhood. She slowed down, but probably to about 8 to 10 miles per hour. The Lexus inching over the speed bump. Now, one thing you will notice is that there seem to be less cars at this second speed bump than the first one. That's just because of where people are coming from and going to, and as you get deeper into the neighborhood, I think you have less and less traffic over each of the speed bumps. Honda's up to a good rate of speed and didn't really slow down. Slowed down, but went over it probably at about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour, maybe 15. The white Jeep didn't slow down too much. Slowed down, but not too much. The Virtue Ride Indoor Cycling Studio slowed down, but not too much. There were 3 cars that went over at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Maybe you saw the trunk or the bed of the truck bounce as it went over. The black Tahoe slowed down to about 2 miles per hour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change my focus now so that we can see the rise and fall of the vehicles. I'm going to sit down on the sidewalk. It's almost hard to see so close. That car didn't slow down too much. This white VW Tiguan slowed down a bit. I'm going to pause the video until I see more cars coming. Okay, here's a van not slowing down at all. Bam, right over. Depending on your car, you can just go over these speed bumps, but in a car like mine, everything gets jolted. In a car like that, I imagine everything inside jolted, but some people just aren't aware of it and they don't know. They just don't know the alternative. They don't know that they can slow down. They don't. So, in life, sometimes people just don't notice the details. someone goes over a speed bump at 20, 25 miles per hour. They don't even think about it. Their body gets jolted. The change in the cup holder moves around. So in a pickup truck, although you can traverse these at a pretty high rate of speed, I think we've seen in a couple instances whatever's in the trunk bed or in the bed of the truck gets thrown around. Here's a sports car. Nearly 1 to 2 miles per hour. Nice car, by the way. We've got a Sprinter van at the stop sign, so probably has supplies and materials inside. I imagine they're going to come to a complete stop so that everything on the inside doesn't get thrown around, but we'll see. Sam, the AC man, crawling over. Might as well just have a stop sign here. Sam, the AC man. All right, I'm going to pause till we get the next cars coming. And here's another Chevy Tahoe. Nice black one. Different one than before. Pretty slow rate of speed. Probably 3-4 miles per hour. You know, there's something else that's interesting. Here I am at the speed bump. I'm about 6 car lengths from 209th Street, and I'm about 7 or 8 car lengths from 210th Street. Here's a BMW, probably going 35, and slowed down to probably about 5 miles per hour. This car, cruising, and barely even slowed down. And we heard it too. The video is not here to show you that everyone slows down. It's to show you that the majority of people slow down. Here we have a pickup truck coming. Didn't slow down. A Volvo SUV. Slowed down. Probably about 5 miles per hour. A BMW. Postal worker didn't slow down really. So my point, the postal worker came from 209th Street. Has to come out, go over the speed bump, and then here's 210th Street, and there's the entrance to 211th Street. We have a speed bump, literally, whatever street you pull out of, within a couple seconds, you're going over a speed bump. And it just seems really close to the intersections, and I know that according to the Miami-Dade traffic calming device rules, the speed humps are not allowed to be on a curve, and you need at least 700 cars a day going over them, and a number of other criteria. Residents within 1,000 feet or so need to have been made aware, must have voted on it, which I'm not sure if they did in our case, but that's a separate topic. My point here is you come out of your street and boom, you're confronted with a speed bump. Boom, you're confronted with a stop sign. Boom, you're confronted with another speed bump. Here's a Lexus. I'm going to guess 35 miles an hour. And as we watch them go over the speed hump, probably about 12 to 14 miles per hour. So they slowed down, but not as much as I would have expected, which is fine. Everyone has their own choice of how they want to go over. I'm trying to prove that the majority of cars go very slowly. Let's see if this lady goes over at a high rate of speed again. Yeah. Hello. How are you? All right, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so she didn't slow down, but she's in a rush today, it seems like. She didn't even say hi back to me. Or she said hi, but nothing beyond that. There's another pickup truck just pulled out of 211th Street. I think we saw this car several minutes ago. It didn't slow down too much. I will say the latter half of this video, a lot of cars are not slowing down, but we're gonna go for another couple minutes. Audi Q5 coming from the neighborhood, probably about less than 5 miles per hour. Nice pickup truck, cruising 35 miles an hour. Come to the speed bump, and down to 10 or 15. Probably down to about 8 to 12 rather. That's my guess on that. We've got 2 cars coming from the north. One with something dragging under their bumper, and they're turning to Highland Gardens, so we won't see that one. So you come out of the stop sign, you get up to speed. Bam, not even hitting the brakes. Eating and looking elsewhere as well. This one, nearly a complete stop. The red, nearly a complete stop. And I don't know if you heard that, whatever was in the trunk bounced around as she went over, even with the 2 mile an hour approach. This car, let's see, jumping over. A couple cars here. Slow rate of speed. The white truck. These cars from both directions were probably going 15 to 20. And they are both crawling over. What we tend to see is if the front car crawls over, the back cars do as well. Oh, look at the temp tag on the Ford Edge. Very nice. So there is a risk that if there is a car behind you and you slow down, then they're just expecting you to go over at 15 or 20 miles an hour. There's a risk that you will be rear-ended. I know the other day I got honked at. I think I mentioned that in my previous video. Several times, not just once, like, hey, get out of the way, what are you doing going over the speed bump at 1 mile per hour? Why'd you come to a stop? And, you know, everyone has their own levels of how much they can take of being bounced around. This car slowed down a lot. Here's a car traveling very slowly. I'm gonna say probably about 20-25 miles an hour, maybe closer to 20. Slowed down to about 5.